which is going to be, I believe, Brazil and Philippines. And there are the rosters on screen right now. Brazil, very storied roster here, a veteran roster. Some new blood coming in as well. Brazil showed up pretty well in the qualifiers too.
This match should also be a very good match. You know, Philippines, this is a team that's been constantly improving year after year, but they are up against a tough first opponent in Brazil. Like you said, veteran squad, MouseEasy, Coreanmaluco, Mystia, xKirito. You know, if you play or even just spectate tournaments, you will know those names, and it's a scary roster to go up against.
Yeah, and this is the 16th seed Brazil against the 17th seed Philippines, so this statistically should be the match to go to tiebreaker. I'm just saying, you guys might not want to miss it. But we are also going to be getting a caster change, at least one caster going out. Mr. Demarche, I believe you're going to be taking your leave soon.
I will. I think OMG4's who's coming on is ready and raring to go, so I shall leave you in his capable hands.
It's been lovely casting with you. Thank you so much, chat. Give him some love. Demarche, ladies and gentlemen. But now, welcoming the new co-caster. You may know him. You might have heard of this guy. It's OMG4's.
Hello.
How are you doing, Fours?
I'm doing fine. I mean, apparently planning was perfect. That the match only took half an hour for the next match to be well on its way, starting right about now. And man, I mean, coming from the Russia match into this one, I think it'll look way different now, because these two teams are pretty much neck and neck in seeding. 16th seed against the 17th seed, and looking at the performances all around, they're pretty similar. They could trade blow for blow on literally anything. So I'm really excited to see this match. Maybe you can see a tiebreaker.
It's a match that's only fun for the spectators. The teams hate it when you play against a team that has similar skill sets to your own.
Right. But the thing is, you know, you have to have at least a few teams in a round to have similar skill sets, or like similar at least placements and strengths. So we at least have some closer matches, which could be very hype, I would say. I think in terms of pick'ems, I'm really interested to see the winner of this one. Who are you rooting for personally?
Oh, it's I always got to go with Brazil, man. I'm a huge Brazil fan. Always been a big MouseEasy fan. But the Philippines have been getting more dangerous over the years in Standard. They've been kind of slowly creeping up, you know? And they've been getting, you know, to become a much bigger threat. That 17th seed is no joke. I mean, to qualify one seed behind Brazil, you have to be pretty good to do that.
Yeah, I think it was actually a lot of factors coming in. For example, one of them is Nissan missing this year, which is my fault for stealing him from the Brazilian team, taking as a playtester for the Mappol team here.
The sabotage.
I know. He's really good. He's really good. And I mean, he shows by doing like 90% of replays in the early stages.
He's so good. We have him do all the replay.
Right. Yeah. We had to nerf Brazil. Come on, just make it more interesting. But yeah, there's a few new people coming.
It's too good of an offer. You can never be eliminated from the tournament if you are the play tester.
Exactly.
You're always in the tournament every week on the showcase.
You can't lose, right? And I think Nissan just took the winning bet here.
Well, the bans are going to be coming out now, and it's going to be NoMod 4 from the Philippines and Hard Rock 2 from Brazil.
Both these make sense because, respectively, they're the best performed maps for both teams, or like the biggest difference of maps. On NoMod 4, Brazil outperformed Philippines by like 1 million points, so that's gigantic. And on Hard Rock 2, on the other way around, Philippines performed 450k points higher than Brazil. So they just took the qualifier results, banned where the biggest differences are, and that's that.
The stage is set, and the Philippines have the first pick of this match. They're on the clock at the moment.
If they want to go for a safe pick, they could either go for the DT2 or NoMod 1.
Well, they have gone for the DT2.
Alright. Once again, just going off of qualifier results, this is what you expect to see. So far, pretty predictable.
Yeah, it looks like both these teams are ready to get straight down to business here. Brazil sending in Mystia, Coreanmaluco, MouseEasy, and xKirito. Philippines still waiting on a fourth to join Kageno, Elki, Milkteaism, and the fourth will be Xyloz.
Alright, genuinely expected rosters, I would say, for the DT2 here.
Brazil's debating us.
I mean, I would expect MouseEasy to probably play this. Unless... I mean, if there's a slight difference to DT1 in the qualifiers, that it has slightly less aim. So if you do not have any aim and only tapping ability, you should be better on this one than on the qualifier DT1. But I'm definitely sure that Coreanmaluco is gonna play this and xKirito, because both of these players should pretty much have seen the DT1.
They are certified DT1 players. Brazil still trying to sort out their roster for this.
Okay, Mystia coming in.
Could just be some connection issues at the moment.
Probably arguing who's actually gonna play this map.
No, I have better scores. No, I have better scores.
Yeah, I mean, mostly teams do have some kind of document where they put in there. There we go. It's MouseEasy. Yeah.
Yeah, they're most.
I was about to say, if he's not playing, we have bigger issues.
Yeah, it wasn't. They didn't even change any of the players. It was probably just connectivity issues.
Yeah.
So, looks like we are ready.
Mystia did play on a different run, and he's decently good at speed. So we'll see. Low spacing, just all about bursts. If you can't tap this, well, you gotta practice.
That's a bar. All right, Brazil and Philippines underway, round of 32. And no early misses at the start, aside from Coreanmaluco and now Elki. So one miss apiece. Brazil still with the lead off of accuracy at the moment.
Pretty huge accuracy drop in the beginning, but generally players should be able to recover here.
And they're actually a slight combo advantage on Brazil. The difference between Coreanmaluco and Elki right now, it's about 80 combo, not massive, but it's slowly adding something.
The deal here is that you can pretty much miss on every part of the map because it's pretty consistently spaced and there's no complete spike anywhere. So it can throw you off guard like any time.
Brazil looking really comfortable on this. Some high accuracy plays coming out of MouseEasy. Oh, Mystia, the other high accuracy player, is actually going to find a miss.
Yeah, it's Mystia and Elki both trading misses here.
Milktea and Kageno for the Philippines, holding up those big scores along with Xyloz. 3 FCs to 3, essentially. Coreanmaluco's a little behind, but it's essentially nearly good for an FC at this point. Oh, major act drops. That scoreboard jumping over to the blue team side there. A quarter of the map left. It looks like the Philippines are going to have enough time here. Double miss coming from Mystia and MouseEasy. Elki will trade one of them, but the Philippines now storming in front with 3 FCs to 2.
It did get caught by the 11 node burst.
Double miss from the Philippines. Xyloz making a triple miss. Milktea's the only FC remaining, and now Brazil pulling it right back over. near the end. Unless there's a miss from Coreanmaluco or Kirito, it's over for the Philippines, and I don't think there's enough time. Little tug of war game at the end, but Brazil will win it back. 1-0.
No spin to win to change anything. And, well, pretty much as we expected. Misses all over the board. Not really predictable. Mystia did get a really good accuracy, but was lacking quite a bit in combo. That almost gave the win to the Philippines, which is a solid three-way, just high combos on the Philippine side. I would say pretty much as you expected, right? Neck and neck on almost any map we saw in the qualifiers, and neck and neck on the first map here.
So far the match delivering a little bit of hype at the start. So now Brazil are on the clock for their first pick of the match. That was a break point. So a chance to go up 2-0 here.
Brazil can't pick the NoMod 4, unfortunately. That probably would have been the angle to go for. Otherwise, I can definitely see them just going for Hard Rock 1 straight up. They've pretty much outperformed Philippines on Hard Rock 1.
Yeah, I mean, the Philippines, not Philippines, but Brazil did ban out Hard Rock 2, but again, a little bit different from Hard Rock 1 in many ways.
Yeah, there's also no CS 6.5 in the free mod they can take advantage of on Hard Rock. So,
they're actually going too.
Ooh, okay, I like it. Not a bad pick either. Compared to qualifiers, this is way more straightforward and just jump and curse awareness. That's the map in a nutshell.
Brazil going to switch this skill set up just a little bit. And with players like Mystia and MouseEasy on your team, it's a pretty solid pick.
Yeah, MouseEasy always gets really high accuracy. Unfortunately, he can't really take advantage of his really good act on even lower approach hit picks here, because usually I think every score should be at least 98% accuracy across the board, because just the core of the map isn't about getting high accuracy or being hard to hack. It's mostly just about the combo. So it's either mostly an SS or mismatch.
And we see a big roster change from the Philippines actually here. Kageno, the only player remaining. Hyuk, Rammu, and LilyFlower substituting in for this. We'll see Tones checking in from Brazil to round out their roster of 4. So it looks like we're set for Hidden.
Yeah, Philippines here might have a slight disadvantage, that they do not really have that much of a 4-man roster on this Hidden 2. Kageno will probably be the weakest link here, unless he performs a lot better on this style of approach date Hidden. If they can actually do a pretty solid 4-way combo here, or just the performance in general, then this should be way better for showing the qualifiers.
Brazil got a hefty advantage there off the spinner.
LilyFlower did miss the first node of the entire map.
Listen, Apraxia method, alright? Or whatever, just insert your name and call it your method. Boom.
Right, it's misses are on purpose as long as you add the method
right?
afterwards.
As long as you add the method. But so far, Brazil looking very good right now. Pretty commanding lead.
Yeah, I was about to say both teams have the same method, but xKirito just had a ghost miss.
Oh, MouseEasy is going to be dropping here pretty early. Oh, but Kageno is going to trade that miss. So now it's kind of back to square one, but Brazil has netted about 70,000 points of advantage off of it. Trades coming in from Tones and Kageno. That will actually favor the Philippines, given that Tones' combo was bigger. Halfway through, Philippines is pulling it back. Another miss from Tones coming in.
I mean, if Brazil keeps underperforming here and the Philippines just holds a freeway C, or at least gets really high combos here, it should be a decent shot for them.
Yeah, the Philippines at this point look like they're in a pretty good position to combo game this. Tones missing again. The Philippines now with the lead. And about a third of the map left.
Alright, second Ki coming in. We should expect at least one or two more misses here. Judging by how it's going.
Brazil really do need some misses come out from the Philippines, though. Kageno, not the one that Brazil wanted to miss. They'll stop a little bit of the bleeding, and Lily is going to find a drop for the Philippines, so Brazil is going to start to pull this back a little bit, but they're still pretty far back, and there's not enough map for the Mystia will drop, and that will steal it. The Philippines will trade breakpoint for breakpoint with Brazil.
Wait. Okay, no, that shouldn't be enough. Rammu did miss at the end, which scared me a little bit, but there wasn't enough.
For a little bit. But the Philippines were tied at one. So far, kind of just jolted. Philippines are second pick of the match. But what a comeback their Philippines! They got that early, rallied back, solid performance by their three-man hidden roster there. Really kind of just get them that point the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, they did try something, and so far they were just trading points left and right. But coming to the next pick, it's gonna be NoMod free. All right. I can see it. I can see this. The score was pretty close, as was any other score so far. And having both teams just trade back and forth with points, we'll see if Philippines can actually win on their own point on this the pick finally, and Brazil maybe goes for another break point, and then Philippines goes for another break point. I mean, well, you can't really argue here that the teams don't know their strength, because in the end, this is all about execution. Because when you have teams that are this close, it's not really that much about strategy. Obviously, it helps to know exactly where you're slightly more favored. But if it's not a 50-50, it's more of a 60-40. And those odds are still pretty well in your team's, in the enemy team's favor. So you can't really expect anything, but you can try and just take advantage of the odds a little bit.
A 4-minute NoMod coming in next.
Alright, we've seen this plenty of times. It's a consistent NoMod alternate map. As you saw Nissan in the replay for the Mappol showcase, you see this with single tap. You can single tap this. Most people will alternate this. It's 4 minutes, has a bit of snap aim, flow aim. Ending is slightly harder, so if you miss in the first half, you're gonna have a bit of a harder time. Also, despite being the map pool selector, I wasn't aware of how many bangers are in this pool. Just everything is a blur across the stages, so I don't know if we can even keep the banger ratio up for the next stages. Jesus Christ.
The banger ratio must be on point, alright? This is the law. But it looks like we're going to get started here on the third round. Seeing Dafonz check in for Brazil, his first map of the match.
Alright, this is up for anyone to grab here.
Some early misses from both sides here, but a double miss coming out of the Philippines. It's going to favor Brazil here at the start. Better accuracies too from them.
Yeah, people missing on pretty much the first hard part, 3 of them. I mean, it is a consistent pick, so the early misses won't say too much about the result of the match yet. They will, however, if everyone keeps us seeing, but I don't think that everyone will keep us seeing. Oh, Rammu missing on the repeat slider there. Another miss by Hyuk, 2 misses by the Philippine side. This is looking pretty good for Brazil right now. That's almost the end of the first KI, and Brazil is looking pretty strong with a commanding lead here. There's still more miss potential to be had. Also, for holding for the first half, definitely gives you a way better chance for the second half.
Yeah, Brazil's looking super good right now. Lots of nice combos, and Hyuk and Rammu still trying to recover.
Alright, we're just before the solo, and this is where things just start being slightly harder. So Rammu, who missed twice in the KI, hopefully these were just fluke misses, because things are about to get really spicy now.
So far, it's Milkteaism, MouseEasy, Mystia popping off with the FCs. Kageno is holding on to a massive combo as well. Rammu and Dafonz are going to trade.
That trade does favor Philippines, because Rammu's combo was way lower, and that's a miss by MouseEasy, I believe. And we're getting right into the first solo, the only solo of the map, and
Dafonz dropping once again. It's only Mystia and Coreanmaluco for Brazil. Milkteaism and Kageno are fighting them off quite well here. Oh, but Milkteaism is gonna drop, and that is massive for Brazil. Korean is going to trade it, but now they're running out of time.
It's only Kageno holding strong for the Philippine side, but he had an early miss, so he's missing 100 combo.
Now heading into the final section, it's all going to be on Mystia and Kageno, but Philippines are going to need Mystia to melt down and a lot to happen, and that is not happening. And Kageno is going to be the one to drop, and that is going to seal this one. Brazil will go up 2-1.
Yeah, no combo left for the Philippine side. That's a done deal.
Yeah, just sadly that miss from Milkteaism there. The beginning of that last section was the dagger.
Mystia did miss right at the end, I think in the last 5 notes. He missed twice. He didn't get the FC, but he did get the win for his team with a 955k score here. Yeah, just a really good performance by Mystia and a decent team effort from Brazil.
That's also another breakpoint.
That is true. That is another breakpoint.
Breakpoints in a row. Do I hear 4?
I mean, the chances are decently high. there's still a few options left for Philippines, like NoMod 1, which they seem to be pretty decent on. But otherwise, I think Brazil is mostly favored 60-40 on most of the remaining picks, I would say. But Philippines, I mean, 40% is still a really good chance for every single pick. You're slightly, you're slightly behind, but I mean, we've seen upsets. Even if the odds are like 10-90 for your team, we've seen USA lose a point early on, right?
Yeah, we actually, in 2019, the only time the US ever trailed in a match was against Turkey, the 32nd seed that year.
Yeah,
and they were down 1-0 at one point.
I mean, and that is a very low order of happening. And you know, if you take a 5.95 and you win it, I mean, 40-60 still seems pretty good.
We're still gonna go with Fremont too. Nodder's time.
Okay.
I love the difficulty, just death.
I mean, it pretty much fits the song, right? It's death metal. Different songs, hopefully for people, coming right from a Japanese song into this one.
It seems Brazil have chosen death for their second pick.
Hopefully they're gonna make a statement here and finally win their first point. Or actually, a team wins the first point of the match they picked. Would be wonderful.
Philippines is going to look to continue the trend of breakpoints.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who's truly favored here. I would definitely compare it slightly with Hidden One and Qualifiers. And both teams, once again, pretty much the same performance.
Yeah, it's also really hard to kind of, again, these are two teams of like similar skill sets on free mod too. I'm pretty sure both these teams have enough depth of players to have comfortable mods for everything here.
Oh yeah, because both these teams perform pretty similarly on Hardwork and Hidden. They should have at least one person on Hardwork, one person on Hidden who's really comfortable, and then two people on NoMod. And that should be the solid roster there.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Philippines try to overmod a little, maybe have one NoMod. If they feel like they're not favored on this, you know.
I mean, it hasn't been a 4-way C yet, and I don't think you will expect a 4-way C easily from these teams. They can happen, sure, but I would bank on the two NoMods, 100%. Because so far, every single map has not been about ecking or like have an egg battle, but rather just about combo. And you just have an easier time on NoMod on this, 100%.
Well, we'll let the client load again. We'll get those mods back on the screen. So, no overmods. It is going to be Coreanmaluco and Milkteaism, the hard rock players, and our hidden players are going to be xKirito and Rammu.
Alright, the 200 BPM, slightly tappy with a bit of an alt pattern in the middle of it. Let's see how they will perform on them.
Some early misses coming out from Milkteaism and xKirito. It's going to favor Brazil because Milkteaism is the hard rock player. And Milkteaism's actually struggling quite a bit here in the intro. So Brazil with a fair lead at the moment. About 50k.
This is a way shorter song, so those early misses actually hurt quite a bit.
Milkteaism's finally starting to recover that combo a bit. So far, everything else is looking really good. Building into the middle sections of the map, nearing the halfway mark. Let's see if anyone gets score capped here.
Alright, and the slowdown.
Oh, Milkteaism gets caught out there. And Brazil just looking so good, looking so comfortable on this.
Ooh. That's a miss by Brazil. There is a chance.
Yeah, the Philippines are going to need a little more, though. Just a little more from Brazil. They need one, maybe two more misses here in this last quarter of the map.
Yeah, the Philippines do need another miss because Milkteaism isn't gonna hit 600k, which is the Mystia score here. They need another miss.
And they really need that miss to come from Coreanmaluco or MouseEasy at this point. Rammu is going to drop, and that might very well seal it. This time it will not be a break point. 3-1 Brazil.
And we finally have a win on their own pick for the first time in this match.
Well, the Philippines now down by 2 are going to have to go to work, and they're going to have to get to work pretty soon here.
Could we call this the break point to the break points?
The break point to the break point? Oh my. I guess you could say we're at the breaking point.
Oh no.
Oh no, I gotta stop. I'm sorry, Chad, I'll stop.
Hopefully not. I don't need another Team Liquid documentary.
It's only round to 32. I gotta save the puns.
Right. There's plenty of matches left.
Yeah. You got like 2 months of OWC left. Anyway, Philippines. The Mappol's still fairly open here, and now do you think they go for that NoMod 1 pick?
I think NoMod 1 could be decent. I don't think Philippines would ever go for DT3. DT1 is a map which is a bit unknown, or there's a bit of information missing. NoMod 2 is also pretty different from the Qualifiers NoMod 2, so if they would just want to do a Hail Mary, NoMod 2 could be a decent shout. Not sure what FreeMod 1, but I can definitely see NoMod 1, NoMod 2. They're going for NoMod 5. Speed. They did win DT2, but this one's, I mean, sure. They won the 50-50 on DT2, let's go for NoMod 5.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Brazil still has 2 or 1 really good pick left, and if they win this one, they should be in the driver's seat to actually just win the match easily.
This is a little bit of a gamble, but again, a shorter map, meaning that those misses are going to mean more. They could just have it well scouted, but electing not to go with double time, not to go with the NoMod 1. And this is a very crucial point. I mean, if they do not get this point, Brazil will be at match point with the pick.
Yeah, I can easily just see after this map, Brazil responding with DT3 or responding with Hardrock 1, which they should be decently favored to win. And well, as decently favored as favored as you can be in this match.
As favored as you can be in a 16 seed against a 17 seed match. So it looks like the team's still finalizing their rosters. Brazil figuring out the 4th player. And this could be a good sign here for the Philippines. Brazil kind of struggling to find a 4th player here at the moment. But the Philippines definitely need to generate some momentum. If they want to get back in this match, they need to take this point, get a break point, start building something.
Yeah, Brazil just copying their DT2 roster, and I believe that's also pretty much the same roster for the Philippine side.
Yeah, not too many changes here. I think it actually is the exact same.
Actually, I think Hyuk was playing DT2.
Yeah, I think it, who's the sub? I think it was Kageno. It's either Kageno or Xyloz that didn't play the first DT, if I remember right.
Well, let's be surprised.
I
This
could
one
be
has
wrong on
slightly
that.
more aim, and it's short and sweet. Let's see how well they perform. Early misses are going to be really harsh here.
Yeah, misses are going to be absolutely punished to the maximum on this map. And Philippines, I'm sure they're aware of the situation. A little bit of a gamble. They need to win this point to secure another pick in this match at least.
I can definitely see 5 or 6 of Cs here.
Kageno is going to be the first drop there for the Philippines. Early advantage to Brazil. They had an advantage off of accuracy as well, so they're banking some pretty good score at the moment. Elki is the second drop for the Philippines.
Massive miss aim by Elki.
Oh, Xyloz is down. That's three
no.
FCs down. Fubuki is the only one remaining. And Brazil still have 4-way FCs. That score bar is rocketing to the left. Unless they all just drop and we see 4 players get score capped, I mean...
This is looking really doomed. I don't think Philippines has a high chance of ever coming back in this map.
Yeah, and again, like, every Nope Brazil combos from now on just further seals their fate. Philippines need them to melt apart immediately, like right now, because they need map to come back. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much a win by Brazil in this map.
Yeah, 4-way. Now only 3-way FCs. Kirito is the first miss for Brazil near the end. It's not going to do anything. Brazil are going to come away with a massive win. 4-1. And they will have the pick at match point.
Yeah, when you miss when you have 3 players missing this early in the map, it's pretty hard to come back from that when the map is only 1 minute and 50 seconds long. Pretty good performance by Brazil. I think Philippines underperformed slightly, but, you know, can't FC it every time. If it was that easy, then, well, things will be a lot more predictable.
Now Brazil have a chance to put it away here.
I mean, Brazil can do a lot here. They could just go back to 3-mod-1. They could go for the Haruk one. Or just throw a Hail Mary with the NoMod 2. They have a lot of options here. DT3 I think would maybe be the safest one. But it is easy enough for, I think, both teams to have a decent form and roster, so they might not want to go for it.
And Brazil not rushing things here, but let's hope they do get the pick in time. How about just an RNG roll pick?
I can see that. There's only 2 maps I don't want to see from Brazil, which is NoMod 1 and DT1 here. Otherwise, I think everything else is fair game.
Again, we're still waiting on the pick. It's going to be DT3. So we're going to be seeing the half-slashed map once again.
Pretty similar in identity to the Qualifier DT2, in which Brazil performed really well, like really well, compared to, I think, even most other teams. But generally there was a 1.1 million difference between both teams on DT2 and Qualifiers. Obviously this one being a lot easier, so people who got stamina gated on the Qualifiers one shouldn't get stamina gated on this one. Slightly more spacing though on some of the bursts. But otherwise, between the bursts, there's not a lot of spacing. It's all about taking control and stuff.
So it's going to be Lily, Hyuk, Xyloz, and Kageno from the Philippines. Tone's waiting on some teammates in the lobby for Brazil.
Okay, Milkteaism is not going to play this one. That's interesting. He's the only player who has seed on their counting run on the DT2 and Qualifiers. And they're opting not to go for Milkteaism. Maybe he's just not feeling it today.
Must be something they know we do not.
Yeah. Maybe everyone has seeds in the practice runs and Milkteaism didn't. Who knows?
Mystia also checking in for Brazil.
This should still be a mouse. Yeah,
yeah, MouseEasy, Coreanmaluco. Okay.
Same DT1 roster. Pretty much just ship it.
Oh, and Tones at the end is going to debate. Check out. Kirito is in.
Yeah, now it's the same DT1 roster and qualifiers. There we go.
Tones was just vibing. All right, so for the Philippines, it is their last stand here. They need 4 in a row to remain in the winner's bracket. And we are going to get underway here shortly. Round number 6.
Let's see if the Philippines also get skill capped on this BPM and stamina intensity. It's quite a bit lower, so who knows? They should perform better.
Xyloz very early miss. Kageno also an early miss. So 2 early misses from the Philippines. But again, those misses were so early that as long as they start comboing and get the accuracy up, it shouldn't be too bad for them in the long run if Brazil finds misses, unless Brazil 4-ways. But already 80k advantage for Brazil at the break. And already a quarter of the way through, I might add. Still no other misses to report just yet. Brazil still 4-weighing at the moment. Approaching that halfway mark though, will anyone get score capped?
So far it's a huge accuracy gap, but you know, combo gap is also a thing. Just one miss is enough to, even if you have an SS, to render that accuracy advantage.
Yeah, the Philippines might need 1 or 2, but you know, a double miss could happen. That's very possible. So I mean, the Philippines still doing a good job holding their combos, waiting for an opportunity. Question is, will Brazil even provide that opportunity? Right now, they are all crushing it.
Alright, is anyone gonna miss a slider?
Oh, yuck!
No one. Oh! We do have 1 miss. Oh no.
And that may very well seal it right there. Brazil just so strong on DT. The consistency is going to win them this match. It was a little ugly at the start, both teams trading breakpoints for a little bit. But Brazil will come through on double time and get the job done and put this match to bed. 5-1 Brazil over the Philippines. They will advance in the winner's bracket. The Philippines not eliminated. We will see them in the loser's bracket next week.
Yeah,
But
even if Yoke didn't miss, it will still be a Brazil win. Huge accuracy lead here. Insane accuracy by Mystia and MouseEasy. Well fought, but you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Congratulations to Brazil.
oh, now I'm hungry.
I mean, you're right on time because there will be a break.
Oh, perfect. A break, you say? Well, be sure to grab you guys some food, go to the bathroom, do what you gotta do. You don't want to miss these World Cup matches. It's OWC time. You've been waiting for it all year. Why would you miss it? But here are your winners. Brazil, 5-1 over the Philippines. Very convincing fashion, especially in the latter half of that match.
Oh yeah, Brazil is still a strong powerhouse, but we'll see how far they get this year. But Philippines is gonna join the losers bracket, and we'll see them, both of these teams, next week.